Study abroad is kind of expensive to do for most students. It's not always a very readily available option. And so when Kevin Navratil, my colleague in political science, who is also the global education coordinator, came to me with this project, I was very much enthusiastic about bringing it to my students. And the company is called Soliya Connect, and they're based out of New York, I believe. And it's a not-for-profit which tries to pair up students from the West with students in the East, so that they might engage in dialogue and break down stereotypes and cultural barriers and other things which contribute to tension and misunderstandings and perhaps even hostilities.
So I had a very large group. I had about 10 people total come in and out of my group. Everyone in the Soliya project was about the same age, so there was a lot to talk about aside from the usual politics and disagreements. We were able to talk about music and stuff that people our age can relate to.
One of the conversations that we had in our group that we were able to speak freely of was the Islamic State and the problems going on with ISIS. Was that a couple of kids in our group did not want us to call them the Islamic State. They wanted us to call them the terrorist group because it portrayed a bad representation of Islam and their religion, and they did not want us to mistake them for practicing the same thing, even though that's not what they wanted to represent.
You know, coming from Saudi Arabia, I never knew about such countries that even in the Middle East I was probably supposed to know about. And comparing those to France, like comparing Tunisia to France, you can see there's a lot of comparisons between the two.
An interesting thing that happened during the project is that in my class we were talking about the Israel-Palestine conflict, and there was one person from Palestine and one from Israel. And so we'd often listen to their banter and how they would disagree. And that coincided with my class, and I got to learn about what they were going through firsthand, along with learning about it in class.
The number one stereotype was definitely the fact that everyone thought that, you know, Americans only cared about themselves, and that, you know, how we would judge the Muslim people, like me being Muslim. Like I didn't used to think that, but the people that we would speak to, they would think that, you know, you're American and you don't like us. Well, it could be true in some cases, but that was definitely a stereotype we were all faced with. And there are stereotypes from, you know, the Americans to the people from Middle East and the people from France. So, you know, they were thinking, you know, that they were socially oppressed and the women were oppressed and all that, you know, stereotypical things that people in the group got to learn about that weren't actually true.
The one thing that I did like is that our facilitator kind of stepped back and let us like kind of control what was going on in the conversations and stuff, which was really cool. And like we were able to freely talk to each other, and the hour passed by quickly, or the 2 hours passed by really quickly, that we were able to talk with each other.
Everyone that participated in the program spoke a little bit English, but it was rarely ever solid English, so typing was usually the main form of communication.
Given the world that we live in, this 21st century world where we have access to amazing technology from Skype to FaceTime or whatever, it seems imperative that we allow such opportunities for our students to be able to talk to others and make friends from people all over the world. Next thing you know, you may have broken down stereotypes that maybe existed for generations that you didn't even know about. And so programs like this are time-consuming, they're not without difficulty, but they're crucial, I think, in bringing us together as a civilization.
It really opens up your mind to like the different things that go on, and some of us don't really think about that. Like I know I didn't when the program first started, but now it's like I would definitely recommend it to other people.
Towards the end of the project, we had a survey to fill out. It asked us if we would ask other students to participate. And of course I put yes. I would even promote here at the school if I had the chance to promote the Soliya project. Now that the project's over, we do keep in contact. We talk to each other probably about once a week or more.
My biggest fear is being an ignorant person and I wouldn't know it. So I would definitely do it again, because Soliya is basically the opposite of ignorance. You know, you get to learn not subjectively, and you get to learn about people straight up. You get to talk to someone from there, not just hear about people you never, like the Middle Easterners. It's like hearing about the Aboriginals in Australia. You're never going to meet them, so you're going to form this opinion and something that might not be true at all. But in Soliya, you get to talk to someone face to face, and you get to learn a lot.